Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the session. A very, very good evening, first of all. Quickly, let me just enable the chat. Okay. So same exact data set you are supposed to upload once again. That is the nb.csv file. Okay. So we'll do it once again. Okay. Once it has been uploaded, now go back to wherever you have written the data frame. That is the DF. And from that particular cell, click on run cell and below. Yes. So let us click on this particular cell, click on runtime, click run cell and below. And we'll move on to the last cell to get all the values. Okay, we have some problem here. What is it? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So we'll do that here. Okay, now we'll click on. Yes. Perfect. Now, okay. Now, I think yesterday we have done so much, right? I think question number 12 was pending in the last class. So we'll do the question number 12 and then we'll move on to the visualization. Okay. So this will be the last topic of this particular data set. Question number 12. Question number 12. My voice is breaking to everyone? No, right? Yes. Thank you. Yes, find the total salary spent by each team on their players. Now, this is the question that is given to you. Listen to the question properly. Find the total salary spent by each team on their players. Now, this is the question. So basically, you want the team name as well as you want to find the total salary that they have spent on the players. So how can we do this? We have learned if I have such kind of questions where you are supposed to count the different categories in BMI category, then you can make use of the value counts function. But here we have two columns, right? One is this what is that team, and based on the team, you're supposed to get the salary. So what is the solution for this? So whenever you're having such kind of questions, you are using a function called as group by function. Okay. Now you're grouping by what? You're grouping by a column that is the team column. Yes. So you are grouping by a team column. Okay. But once you're grouped by the team column, now you're supposed to access a particular column. For example, this is the first column. Okay. You can see, let me just show you how the output should look like. First of all, you should say you should get all the teams and then you should get the total salary or basically the salary. Okay. So if first thing you're getting is team and next you're getting this salary. For example, we have a team called as Boston Celtics, right? So Boston Celtics is the team name. And based on this team name, the total salary, the whatever they have spent, that should be value that is present in this particular output. Okay. So all the team name and based on, there are some of the salaries. So this is the output we are expecting. So we are grouping by the team, correct? But what we are accessing, we are accessing the salary. Yes or no? So outside this group by function, you have to access the salary column. Okay. And along with it, you have to mention an aggregation function that is the sum. Why? Because we are supposed to find the total salary, correct? So we are writing a sum function to get this output. Let's see. Okay. Can you see? We are getting the team names now. Can Atlanta Hawks, whatever values are there. And based on the team, we are getting the salary. Yes or no? This is the total salary based on the team. Now, again, it is not in row. We can make use of the reset index to fix this. So reset underscore index, open and close bracket. And you can see the team name now and the salary. This is the total salary basically. Okay. So what we have done, we have found out the total salary spent by each team on their players by using the function called as group by function. Now, how does it work? First of all, or whatever you require in the first column or whatever category you require in the first column, that column you are supposed to write inside this by. Okay, grouping by this particular column. That is a team column. And after that, you are accessing what value, right? According to the category or according to the team, what value you are supposed to access? You are accessing the salary. But what type of salary? You're accessing the total salary. So you're mentioning then you're using the aggregation function, that is the sum function. Okay. And then you're using basically reset index so that you can get it in the single row. Now, if you don't understand this, don't worry. If I keep on make you understand, you will never understand it, because group by function is such function where you are supposed to do it on yourself. Okay, supposed to experiment yourself. Then only you are able to understand what is this topic. Otherwise, you'll never understand. Okay, I'll explain with one more example. If you have if you're understanding, it's well and good. Otherwise, it's not a problem. Do it by yourself. So question number 12, let me write it here. Question number 12. Let me write here. Find the different category, PMI category count based on the team. Okay. Based on the team, you're supposed to find the different BMI category. For example, let's say you have a team called as Atlanta Hawks. Okay. From this team, I want to see how many are healthy, how many are obese, how many are severely obese, also how many are overweight. So this output I'm supposed to get. So whenever you want these kind of outputs, then you are using, I told you, a group by function. Now can you tell me what we are grouping by? Again, we are grouping by the team. Yes or no? Again, in the first column, I want the team. So exactly same thing we are writing here. That is the team column. So let us write here by the team column. Now, once you get the team column, what else you want in the second column? You want in the second column the BMI category, correct? So let me write that here, BMI underscore category. Now, once you get the category, what you want? What aggregation function? You want the count. You're not getting the total, you're getting the count of each players. For example, five players are healthy. So you're getting the value that is healthy 5, correct? In a particular team. So you're using a function that is a count function, and then you're running it. Okay. Can you see? Atlanta Hawks. Okay. It is giving me the entire BMI category. But I not want like this. I want based on, okay. We'll group it by, I'll do one thing. We'll group it by 2 columns. Okay. We can also group it by 2 columns. One is a team column, and along with that, I want a BMI category column. Now let's try. Okay, now we can see. But again, you're not getting exactly one output. So let us access just one output. That is the BMI. Yes. So I hope everyone is able to understand what we are doing here. Basically, can you see? Atlanta Hawks have healthy, that is 9 players. Overweight, that is 3 players. Severely overweight is again 3 players. So you can see, based on such things, you can get the different values, correct? So first thing, based on the team, you're getting the BMI category. And according to the BMI category, we have the count also. So this is how you make use of the group by function. Now, again, if you don't understand, please make sure you do it on by yourself. Once you are understanding by yourself, only then you can understand. Okay, otherwise you'll never understand the group by function. Try and do some different experiments, or try and do some different questions based on which you can understand the group by function. Okay, so that's it for this particular data set. That is a data set of NBA. Now we'll move on to the data visual. So I want everyone to create a new section here. So let us create a new section called as data visualization. Okay. So let us begin with the data visualization. And the first thing that we're going to learn is the different types of charts. Okay. Different types of charts. Now, can anyone tell me in the chat box, what are the different charts you know basically? What are the different types of charts you know? Simple, very simple question. What are the different types? Yes, bar chart. Okay. Bar chart. Okay, what else? Pie chart, very good. Pie chart, line graph, correct, or line plot. Okay, scatter plot, very good. What else? I think more than enough, right? So bar chart is there or bar plot is there. So instead of chart, I'll write plots, okay? Because most of the things we are using as plots. So that is the reason we are using pie plot, scatter plot. I think I mean, bar chart or a bar plot is also called as a box plot. Okay, so for timing, I'll be using box plot. Okay, so, everything is exactly the same thing. So box plot is there, bi plot is there, line plot is there, and the scatter plot is there. So these are some of the different types of charts. So let us begin with the first one. That is, I want to begin with the first plot that is a line plot. Okay, so since it is a very simple plot, so let us begin with the line plot. Let's understand how to plot anything that is by using the very important library called as matplotlib. So let's understand how to import it first of all. So to import it, you are supposed to write import matplotlib. Now, what's the meaning of this in the sense? It is actually matplot library. Okay, it is a library that is basically used to plot anything, or basically it is used to plot charts basically. And along with that, you are supposed to get a sub library called as pyplot. Okay, import matplotlib.pyplot as, now you're giving the nickname for it, let's say as plt. Now I want everyone to write this, import matplotlib.pyplot as plt and run it. Now if it is running, now let us give two things. Okay, I want everyone to reply in the chat box how many axis is there for the line plot. How many axis will be there for the line plot? Okay, so there are two axes. What are these axes? X and Y, correct? X axis and as well as the Y axis. So in the X axis, I'll give some value. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And for the Y value or the Y axis, let me give some random values. Let's say 2. Okay, for timing, let me give a linear graph or linear plot. So we have X as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Y has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now, after doing this, we are supposed to plot it. So, how to plot it? First thing that you're going to do is you are calling the matplotlib, that is the PLT. So, call the PLT, and use a function called as plot. Now, this plot is used to specifically plot the line plot. Okay. So, it is used specifically to plot the line plot. So, plt.plot. And inside that, you have to mention the both the values, that is X as well as the Y. Okay. After doing this, let's display it, that is plt.show function, and let's run it. Okay, can you see this is the graph we are able to get with the help of matplotlib? You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is our x-axis, and 1 is matching with 2, 2 is the axis point at 4, 3 is at 6, 4 is at 8, and 5 is at 10. Okay, since it is a linear graph, this is what I mean. This is how basically it looks. But can you understand what is there in the x-axis? Or if there is categories, or if you want to write something in the x-axis as well as the y-axis, right? If you want to write something in the x-axis as well as the y-axis, or let's say if you want to write something in the title, how can we do this? So to do this, we can make use of plt dot x label. Okay, basically we are labeling the x-axis. So for timing, let me mention it as x-axis itself. So x-axis, we'll do the same thing for y label, plt.y label. And here, let me mention y axis. Let's run it. Can you see now the y axis as well as the x axis is been appeared? Now you can obviously change that to any other value that you require. And also you can change the title of the graph. So to mention the title of the graph, you are supposed to mention plt dot title. Okay, and inside that, mention, let's say, line graph or line plot. Anything is fine. Okay, you can see the title now. Okay, very simple thing that you're supposed to do. First of all, import the matplotlib.pyplot as plt, then give the x-axis as well as the y-axis, and directly plot by using plt.plot function. Very simple. Any doubts? Any doubts? No. Now what we'll do is, let's say I have more than one axis. Okay, I have more than one axis. For example, Here we have x and y. Now one more value I have where I have x1 and y1. So is there any possibility that I can plot more than one plot in a single graph? Let's see. So what I'll do is, first of all, let's copy this. I'll write here multiple plots in a single graph. How can we do this? First of all, let me mention x1 is equal to, let me mention the same thing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but let me change the y values. That is y1 is equal to, well, mention, let's say 2, okay, not 2, let's say 3, 1, 7, 4, and 3. Okay. So we have plotted the x and y, but along with that, we have to plot the x1 as well as the y1. So to do that, you cannot mention directly inside this particular function. You have to write separately. Okay, plt dot plot and write x1 comma y1. So let's run it. Okay, can you see we have the entire thing? First of all, this is the x and y value, correct? X and the y value. Then we have x1 and y1 in the orange color. So we can understand, I mean, if it is in the same color, obviously there might be the chance of getting confused. So that is the reason we have different colors. For first one, we have the blue. Second one, we have the orange. Correct? Is that clear? How to do it? Okay. Now what I'll do is, let's say I want to plot. Okay, I want to plot with the help of NumPy array. Okay, line plot with NumPy array. Is it possible? Let's see. Now we have understood. Okay, we can mention why it is here. Let me make it to the top. Okay, line plot with NumPy array. So let's understand how to do this. First of all, what I'll do is I'll import the NumPy because we want NumPy here. NumPy as NP. Now let us write a simple array directly. That is NP dot array function, and inside that, let me give the a value for the x-axis. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now this has been directly converted into an array, correct? So once it is being converted into an array, I can add, I can subtract, I can multiply, I can do anything I want. So y-axis, I'll write the value as x multiplied by 2. So one will be having multiplied by 2, that is the value, corresponding value is 2. 2 will be having the corresponding value of 4, then 6, then 8, then 10. So basically, I'm supposed to get this particular graph. That is wherever you can see the blue line, that particular graph I'm supposed to get. Let's see. So first thing I'm gonna do is plt dot plot, and inside that, let me mention the x as well as the y, and plt dot show to basically display the graph. Let's see. Yes, we are getting the same output. So basically, the array will also work with the help of, I mean, in the line plot, right? Any doubts? Any doubts? Okay. Now what we'll do is, you can see here, let's say, you can see this blue line, right? Now, according to the blue line, okay, there, let's say we have some confusion. We do not know what is blue line and what is orange line. In the sense, we do not know which is x and the y value and which one is x1 and the y1 value. But is there any possibility that we can give a pattern to a particular graph? Pattern in the sense, let's say I want this orange line in a dotted manner. Okay, dot 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 dot. So basically, we'll understand. Okay, this is the second plot, and whichever doesn't have the dot is basically the first plot, right? So to do this, we can also change the pattern of the particular line plot. That is by using a comma, and inside the quotes, you're supposed to mention double hyphen. So if you mention double hyphen, it will give you the pattern with the help of this particular character. Okay. So if you run it, can you see now we are getting the values in the form of dot 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 values. And also there are different patterns. If you mention hyphen and a star, wherever you're having a plot, and in that plot, basically you're getting a star. Can you see? A star is there, star is there, star is there, and the star is there. Now, if you have such kind of outputs, you are able to, okay, this is the first plot as well as this is the second plot. Okay, you can just Google it out. You have different plots also. I think for timing, let us have the double hyphen so that we can understand it better. Okay, so much is clear. Any doubts? And for the first one, let me mention the hyphen and the star. Okay, so you can see wherever, I mean, where it is exactly marked. Correct? Perfect. Very good. Now we'll move on to the next one where let's say I want to access or I want to plot 3 plots in a single graph. Okay, I want to plot 3 plots in a single graph. So I don't want to type it once again. I'll quickly copy it and let me show you how it will basically work. Okay, you can again see here we have x value, we have y value, we have x1 value, we have y1 value, we have x2 value, as well as we have y2 value. So just like the previous one where we have accessed or basically plotted xy and x1, y1, here also we are doing the same thing, but x2 and y2 is been added. And if you run it, we'll be having 3 plots in a single graph. Correct? So this is basically added the triangle. For the triangle, you can use this. Okay. Otherwise, you can use the greater than symbol. Anything will work. Okay. Anything will work. So much is clear, everybody? Why this is coming in the... Yes. So much is clear, everybody? I want everyone to write yes in the chat box so that we can move on to the next. Okay. Now, whatever we are learning, this is just the basics. Okay. For actually analysis, we are doing a different library, not this. So whatever we are learning is completely basic. Okay. We'll go for the next one where we are understanding something called as a scatter plot. Let's understand scatter plot. Now, in the scatter plot, basically, it is exactly like the line plot, but basically the lines are not there. For example, if you see this blue line, I mean, blue color plot, wherever you can see star, that is it. Okay, that is it for the scatter plot. You cannot see that line which is connecting. Okay, you cannot just see the line. You can just see the stars that is been pointed out. So that is the meaning of scatter plot, which is very simple. So again, we'll mention the x value where the x value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as well as the y value. We can give any random values. Let's say 3. Okay. After that, so we have used plt.plot to, I mean, plt plot for the line plot. Can you tell me what I'm supposed to do for the scatter plot? So it is very simple. It is plt.scatter. Very simple. Okay. Here also we can mention the x as well as the y value. After that, we can mention the plt.show to display the graph. And if you run it, you can see this will be the output. Wherever you can see the x-axis, we can see one particular point at the y-axis also, right? So x value and the y value, we can see the plots here. And along with that, if you want the x-axis as well as the y-axis, you can just copy this, the previous one. Exactly same thing we can mention inside the scatter plot as well. Okay. And also you can change the shape of it. For example, here we have a default value that is a circle, and if you want to change that to square, or if you want to change that to a diamond, you can do it with the help of something called as marker. Okay, you have to write something called as marker, and you have to equate, and inside the quotes, if you want a square, you are writing yes. Okay, if you want diamond, you are writing D. Can you see you're getting a diamond? If you want, triangle, then you're writing, no, if you press 6 and, shift and 6, you're getting a symbol that is actually required for power of something. So if you run this, you can see you are able to get a triangle now. Okay. Also, you can change the color of it. Okay. You can change the color of this particular graph. Now, all this you can also learn with the help of Google. You can just search and find it what you're supposed to do so that you can change the color or the what is that, markers. Okay, so these are the different markers that we are learning. Next, we'll understand how to basically plot a different shape and color for 2 data sets with the help of scatter plot. So let's say I have 2 data sets. I'll quickly copy and paste. Okay, now we have 2 data sets, data set 1 as well as data set 2. One y1 in the first data set, x2 y2 in the second data set. So what is the first thing that you're going to do? That is plt dot scatter. Yes or no? mention plt.scatter, and inside this mention x1, comma y1. And after that, mention plt.scatter once again. Here, mention x2 and y2. Correct? After that, you can mention the plt dot. We'll just copy this plt dot x label, y label, title, as well as plt dot show. Let's run it. Okay, so we are getting the output, but still, let's say I want to customize this. Okay, customize in the sense I want to change the color of it. I want to change the marker of it. So how can we do this? This can be done with the help of plt.scatter parameter. And let's say I want to change the color. So to change the color, you can make use of a parameter called as C. And let's say I want to change that to red. Okay, so if I run it, you can see it has been converted into a red color. After that, also we can change the edge color. For example, there is no edge color here, but if you mention something called as edge colors, and let me mention the edge color as green, you can see the edge color here. Sorry, edge colors. Okay, can you see in the edge? Can you see the green edge color here? Red is the main plot, but green is the edge color here. Also, you can change the size of it. Okay, you can change the size of it. For example, I want to change the size to 75. Okay, 100 being the maximum size. You can see 75, it has been slightly enlarged. Also, you can change the marker. And let's say I want the marker as a star. Okay, if you mention star, you can see you'll be able to get the star here. So same thing, we'll do it here also. First of all, we'll change the color to yellow. After that, we'll change the edge color. Let's say to red. Okay, I'll change the same size. Size is equal to 75, as well as I'll be changing the marker to, let's say, diamond. So for diamond, you're mentioning D. Let's run it. Okay, can you see? We're getting the exact output. So the color is actually yellow. The edge color is basically red. The size is 75. And the marker is D. That basically means that it is a diamond. So much is clear. Any doubts? Any doubts? I want everyone to reply yes in the chat box if you have understood everything. I want everyone to write yes in the chat box if you have understood everything. Okay. So we'll quickly finish off. Next, we'll understand the bar chart. Okay, let's understand the bar chart. Now here also, it is, okay. Till now, whatever we have learned, that is the scatter as well as the line plot, we have x-axis as well as y-axis. But what do you think we have in the bar chart? Do we have x-axis as well as the y-axis? Yes, we have the x-axis and y-axis, but the problem is, in the x-axis, we are not supposed to give the value like this, right? 10, 20, no. We are supposed to give the categories here, right? Categories in the sense, let's say A, B, C, D, E. These are the 5 categories. And for the A, we have one value. B, we have one value, correct? So basically, that will be the bar chart. So let's understand how to do this. First of all, let me mention a simple list. Let's say we have the category called as A, B, comma C, comma D, comma E. So we have 5 categories. Also, we'll be having, we'll be assigning some values to these categories. Let's say 40, 55, 31, 90, and 65. So 5 values has been given. Okay. So till now we have understood two of the things. First thing that we have understood is PLT dot plot for the line plot, PLT dot scatter for the scatter plot. Can you tell me what I'm supposed to do so that we are getting the bar chart? Simple. Very good, guys. It is PLT dot bar. Okay. So here we'll mention x comma y, and we'll just copy everything. That is x-axis, y-axis, but instead of scatter graph, we'll mention this as box graph or box chart. Let's run it. Okay. Can you see? We have the categories A, B, C, D, E, and according to the categories, we have some values. So this is how the bar chart will look like. Now, let's say I want to change the width of it. Okay, can you see the width is too much? Let's say I want to narrow down the width. So to narrow down the width, you can mention a parameter called as width, and Let's also change that to, okay, 100. I mean, 1.0 means 100%. So if I write 1.0, you don't have any changes. You can see, okay, I'm sorry. It does have changes. That is 100%. That means no space. But if you reduce it, let's say to 0.5 or something like that, you can see now it is been narrowed down, which looks neat, correct? Now we'll do the same thing. We'll do the same thing, or basically we'll copy the same thing. We'll go to the next cell. Okay. Now, what type of bar chart this is? Can I say this is a vertical bar chart? I want everyone to agree yes or no in the chat box. Can I say these are the vertical bar charts? Yes. So what if I want to create a horizontal bar chart like this? Horizontal bar chart. What I'm supposed to do so that I can create a horizontal bar chart. I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. Only one particular thing that you're supposed to add. One particular letter you're supposed to add. One particular letter you're supposed to add, and I'll tell you where. You're supposed to add it here. Exactly. Very good. It is bar H. That is the only difference. Okay. That is the only difference that you're going to do. But the problem is here we have mentioned width. Okay. Width to basically increase or reduce. But here, can I mention width? Now it is not width. Here it is actually height. Correct. We are changing the height of the particular bar graph. So if I run it, you can see this is the output we are able to get. Right. Now this is called as a box chart, but in the horizontal manner. Also, we can change the color of it. If you want to change the color of it, you can directly write something called as color. And let's see. Okay, it is taking some time. Truly sorry for that. I had a small net problem. So we'll continue. I think audible as well as you can see the screen. Yes or no? Okay, so let's run it once again. Sneha, kindly do not I hope everyone can see the output. You can see we can something. I mean, we have changed the color into red, as well as we can also change the edge color. For example, if you want to change the edge color, mention edge color is equal to. You can do it as well. Okay, so this is what the bar chart, graph bar chart will look like. One last thing that we are pending is the pie chart. Okay, so let us quickly go on to the pie chart and we'll finish off today's topic. Last graph is the pie chart. Now again, can I say pie chart is, yes, pie chart is basically, can I say is a category. So we have multiple categories, and if I add all the categories, it is 100%. Correct? Do you, if I add all the categories, the ultimate answer is 100%. Yes or no? Correct? So we have a category, and we'll mention the category as, let's say, A, let's say B, C, as well as D. Okay, let's say we have four categories. Now, after mentioning the four categories, let's say I have data for all these four categories. Now, the data are, let's say, some random data, let's say 45, 90, 63, let's say 31. Okay, so these are the some of the categories, as well as some of the data for these categories. So we have for the line plot, we have used plt.scatter for the scatter plot. We have used plt.bar for the bar chart. Can you tell me what I'm supposed to do to get the pie chart? Simple, plt.pie. That you are now not mentioning directly, that is category comma. You're not mentioning that here. First thing that you're going to mention is the data. Give a comma. Now you're giving a parameter called as labels. And inside the labels, now you're assigning the category. Okay. Now you're assigning the category. And after that, you can go the title, plt.title. And let's mention it as pie chart. And also we'll mention plt.show to display the graph. Let's run it. Okay. Can you see now we are able to get a pie chart where we have the four categories, that is A, B, C, D. But do you think, you are able to get the percentage of what is A, what is B, what is C, and what is D? Basically, if I use a pie chart, you are supposed to get the percentage, right? So to get the percentage, we have a unique parameter called as autopacity. Okay. Now I don't know what is the name of it, or basically why it is used. Uh, I mean, what is the purpose of this particular name? But it is called as autopacity. Okay, and also the code you're supposed to write to get the percentage. First of all, a percentage. Then you're writing 1.1 f. Then you're writing percentage. Now this is a code to get the values in the form of let's say 10.5% or something like that. Okay, 10.5 or whatever the point value is there. If you want to write it, you are writing this 1.1 f percentage. So let's run it. Can you see now you're able to get the percentage values? So you are, so and if you mention this code, you are able to get the percentages here. Okay, I hope this is very much clear. I think this is more than enough to understand the basics of pie chart. Basics of matplotlib. While coming to the next class, we'll go on to the advanced part that is called as a Seaborn. Yes, that's it for today's class. If you have any kinds of doubt, kindly good to go. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you in the next class. Till then,